In this video, we are going to create a second level along with a small fuel power-up to go with it. So let's jump right in. We're going to start this one in Unreal Engine 4. Let's go ahead and open up our level map. We're going to cheat. We're just going to take our existing map, duplicate it, change some stuff around so we can get right into this. So here's our existing map. We will duplicate game level 2. Hey, conveniently named properly. Open it up and take a look at it. What we're going to do on this one is we're actually going to, let's switch this over to, what was it, left view? Oh, I can't remember. There we go, left view. And quit doing that. And we're just going to move our guy down here to start. Yep. So we're going to start our little dude down here. And we are going to put a fuel power up over here. And then we're going to put a little bit of a overhang right here. Like this. So that way the player has to then go through here. And we'll make it where they have to go through here. And then we're going to duplicate this one down like this. And oh no, kind of like that. Yeah. Like that. And where's my stretchy? Let's turn this to local. Can we have local, please? Oh, seriously? Why are you not going to local? Oh, you're not going to cooperate, are you? Oh, whatever. I'm not worried about it. There we go. So they'll have to go through here, and then they'll have to come up to here, and then we'll put our finish point right there. I think I might crash, but we'll figure it out. There we go. Not meant to be pretty. It's meant to just show something. A second level, progressing through levels, a power-up, things like that. So we need a power-up. Blueprint. Hopefully this is easy enough. Blueprint, fuel canister. This is going to look super duper ugly because we don't have capsules in here by default. We just have these silly things. So we're going to go with the cylinder. Let's make it 0.5 on the Y and 0.5. Make it tall. Let's slap it in here to see what it looks like. I think it's still a bit big. I'm going to make it the root though, so make it easier. Let's see, 0.25, 0.25. I think it's going to be too tall, so 0.75. What's it look like now? What do you think? Fuel canister? Looks like a fuel canister to me. We're going to want it to glow, so we're going to need a material for the fuel canister. So material, matte, fuel canister. And I'm just going to make this one glow white. So emissive. We're going to do, oh, actually, we're just going to make it glow white. So we can do a single, and then we're going to make this 3. White is 1. Anything over that is basically just going to glow much, much better. So where's our fuel canister? Edit the fuel canister blueprint. Find the material. Change this over to our material fuel canister. There we go. Now we got a glowing white fuel canister. Cool, that'll work. Let's see if we hit play quickly. Cool, that works for me. We're going to give it a little bit of ooh la la, and we're going to make it rotate. Nice thing is we have some built-in components, and one of them is rotating. Grab rotating movement. We're going to change this to 0. We're going to try 45 and 45, like that. I'm going to simulate it, and there we go. Rotates. So if we were to play, just going to rotate automatically. Don't have to do anything else because we have a rotating component. They're kind of like the pre-built scripts that you can download from Unity, except it's built into the engine, in Unreal Engine. What do we need next? Well, we need to hit it, and then when we hit it, something's going to happen. Well, now we don't want to hit it, so we're just going to collide with it. So let's change our collision from blocking to overlapping. And then we're going to make it where on component begins overlap. And then we tell if it's a player. So let's see, overlapped actor. Does he implement the player interface? Then it's the player if he does. And we're just simply going to give the player fuel. So does the player have a fuel? The player has the fuel. Where'd the player go, right? Now I didn't make this as an interface. Here we go, blueprints, player, and then the event graph for change fuel. Now because this isn't an interface, I have to talk directly to the player. So I will talk directly to the player. So fuel canister, we're going to grab the other actor. We're going to cast it to the player. Where's the blueprint player? Hello, blueprint player. Where'd you go? And if it's the blueprint player, which we're 99% sure it will be because it implements the interface, then we're going to go and change the fuel. And remember how I said I knew we were going to need to clamp this for a reason? We're simply going to change it to 1. Now that's going to add 1, but since we clamp between 0 and 1, it will change it to 1. And then we want to destroy ourself. Destroy actor, self. So this will destroy the fuel fuel canister, after it has done its duty. Good. Cool. Let's find our player now. Where's our player? I know we have a player in here. There we go. Let's set his default fuel to something like super crappy. Now he should have less fuel, and obviously he didn't. So why didn't he have less fuel? What did we break? Let's find out. Let's hit play. Let's eject. Let's check out the player. Fuel is set to 1. Ooh, where do we change? Where did we set? Somewhere I changed his fuel. Now his default is 1, but I've overridden it in his blueprint. Oh, because I changed his... Oh. We wanted to change his initial fuel, not to 1, but to the fuel value. Duh, the fuel variable. Now he should have... There we go. That doesn't look like 0.25, does it? Huh. Okay. So for some reason the fuel is 0.5, right? Okay, well, let's eject it. Let's check again. It's being set to 1, but if we have it set to 0.10 and we hit play, we check, it's being set, it's doubling. We're doubling the fuel for some reason on start. Oh, because I'm adding. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Oh, okay. We don't want to do that. You know what? Gosh. Set fuel bar. Oops. There's lots of ways we could get around this, but we're just going to friggin' set percent. Basically, I was taking it and doubling it because I'm a dum-dum. I was adding instead of just setting. There we go. Okay, now we should have, and no fuel, and we're not going to make it. I wonder how far we could make it. Oh, okay. So we definitely don't want that. Nice thing is, we will just tweak. So what's 0.3, 30% fuel? Will that get us up there? We do it right? Oh, nope. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, the thrust on this ship is too much. Okay, so let's just be reasonable and set it to 0.5. I have a feeling my actual drain is too much on the ship as it is now with the 0.1. Hey, this might be a lot harder than I thought. Oh no, I ran out of gas. Oh, and it restarted me. So we're going to get the restarting working in the next video. Right now, we're just working on setting up a fuel power. Okay. Thrust is way too much. Where is my ship? Here's my ship. This is... Okay, this is all the fuel stuff. So our controller in the framework is where we change how much thrust. So 10 is... What are we getting here? To the right. Yeah, so we're supposed to be doing a multiplication of our axis value in order to make sure we have it set properly. Oops, we need to split this. Put this into Z. Set that to 1. I don't think that's going to be enough force, but No, that was not enough force. There we go. Now we've got better force. And now we can adjust how much gas we're losing. Negative 0.01. Because that was way too much at 0.1. See, all about tweaking. Here we go. There we go. Now my ship flies a little better. We've got some good gravity to fight against. Gravity is probably too much, to be honest, but... Ooh, because this sucker is flying. I don't think fuel could... Oh, crap. I don't think fuel consumption is enough. So 0.1 was too much. 0.1. So what if we cut it in half? 0.5. Oops, that's 0.5. 0.5. What if we... Oops, I went the wrong way. There we go. And if you've noticed, the smart thing would have been to assign this to a variable so we could adjust it in real time, which I didn't do, but that would have been the smart thing to do. Okay, there we go. Ooh, this is going to eat a lot of fuel up. I think it's doable though, right? Okay. Let gravity do its thing, right? Right. Yes, land. Okay, cool. So we know it's doable. Cool. And that was pretty much it. We just wanted to do a power up. I know it took a little bit longer than I was hoping in here, but that's it. We got something. It gives us stuff. Things happened. We adjusted. We created a second level. Let's duplicate this in Unity. So where'd Unity go? There's Unity. We've got a level. Let's create a second level. So let's go ahead and scenes. We're going to duplicate our scene. Now it's game level 2. Hey, conveniently named. We're going to go ahead and we can't see anything, of course. Oh, I hate when that happens. Can I see my level now, please? Oh. None of my rocks. Oh, no. Did I not? Wait, why is game level 1? Okay, now I'm confused. Let's load up game level 1. Let's save scene as game level 2. There we go. Now it's duplicated. That's what I was hoping for. Ah, yes, I know. Not worried about that. Okay. And player should be... Okay, cool. So this is game level 2, and game level 2 should work just like game level 1. Except we're going to go ahead, obviously, and adjust it. Okay, cool. We are going to adjust stuff now. I keep... With Unity, you have the game scene and the scene, and you can only edit stuff in the scene. So if you're sitting here trying to adjust stuff in the game scene, you're just going to look silly like that. Okay, so let's get rid of that rock. Let's go ahead and grab these two objects, drag them down here. Here's our starting point, like we did before. I'm going to duplicate one of these rocks and drag it over. Going to rotate it. Going to drop it right here. We're going to put our fuel over there. Oh, there's a giant friggin' thing in the way, but I will ignore it. We're going to drag these over to here like this. We want these rocks. We're going to duplicate them, drag them over here, so that way we can't get through. Duplicate this rock, kind of like that. There we go. And then set up our... Okay, so something like that is what we're thinking about. And then duplicate this rock, drag it over here. We'll make it a little bit different than the other one. Okay. Actually, ooh, can we make it more challenging, like over here, you think? Yeah, okay, so we're going to do that, and then let's duplicate this one out one more time. And let's rotate it to get a little bit different look. Hopefully you guys have figured out I'm not a level designer. There we go. Okay, cool. We've duplicated the basics. We're good. We need to make our power up. So we're going to make that a prefab power up. Obviously, we need to make it first, so let's collapse. Okay. So to do game object, we're going to collide with something. We don't need anything special, so let's just make it a capsule. We'll call this one fuel canister. And we'll turn this into a prefab like that. Okay, cool. We're going to reset everything on it. So good. There's our fuel prefab. We need a material. So let's make a material. We'll call this one matte fuel canister. Do the same thing we did before. We should be able to just emissions and then color. We're going to make it white and we're going to overdrive it to 5 like that. Now we should have a super duper nifty glowing white one. Grab our fuel canister, grab the material, assign it, and there we go. Now we got a glowing white canister. Apply. We're not going to move it over yet. We want to rotate, and we want collision. So we need collision. So we have a collider, so we're good there. It's a capsule collider, so can't get any better than that. We want this to be a trigger because I don't want it to block. And then we just need to add a script to it. We'll call this one fuel canister. Should be easy enough. Easy enough. Soon as I double click to open it. Easy enough. Okay, okay. Can I have the fuel canister script? Fuel canister. There we go. Thank you. We're going to use... Whoa. Oh, I erased you. There we go. So I know we're going to need fixed update because we're going to want it to rotate. So we'll do a fixed update. And then we're going to need a collision. So what do we got? Collision. No, not collision. Overlap, right? Overlap? Oh, for Pete's sake, what's it called? Trigger. On trigger enter. There we go. So those are our two things we're going to use. Fixed update's going to rotate it. Trigger enter is going to cause it to trigger. We want to make sure it's the player, so we're going to use a tag on the player. I use the interface on. We don't need this anymore. Let me close that down. Hold on a second. This is the Lunar Lander. We don't need anymore. There we go. I use the interface system on Unreal Engine, and we're going to use the tag system here on Unity. So there we go, player. So now it's tagged as a player. So if other, need these ones, other.gameObject.tag is equal to player. So if it's a player, we are going to, well, we're going to destroy ourself. This dot game object. Okay. But we needed to give fuel to the player first. So other dot get component player. So that should be the player script. Fuel. And we're just fuel is equal to 1.0f. So that is set its fuel to full. But how did we actually handle updating the UI? Do we just do it? Yeah, we just changed the fuel bar value because we didn't actually create any functions for it. In the smart game, you would have created a function for it. And yeah, but we didn't in this one because that's just what we are. So that's fine. We should be able to, yeah. In a proper game setup, you're going to want to hide as much stuff as possible, only expose things that are tested. So you'd have things kind of like we did in Unreal with change fuel or add fuel or set fuel. That way, when you do that, it also updates the UI at the same time. So that way, you're always ensured that things are meshing up. Because if we look at our code in here at our fuel canister, right now it's going to change the fuel value, but the UI itself isn't going to change. So that's kind of something we would want to not do. So player is equal to, and then I'm going to, because I'm going to use this twice, we're just going to go and grab it once. That way we don't have to do the get component twice. Fuel value equals player.fuel. There we go. So in theory, this should work for our little spinning canister. We're going to go ahead and pick it up and go from there. Let's actually see what happens. Let's find our game. We'll go ahead and play our game. Make this bigger. I should probably set this to, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set this to maximize on play. There we go. We'll make it easier, hopefully. Okay, so our fuel bar is going down. When we touch this, our fuel bar, well, obviously not. I think it's not on the right plane. So let's find out. Is it correct? It is correct, right? We were hitting it. So was I not? Let's see. So we have this. And this is our capsule collider. It is set to trigger. So we should be good there. And our player... wait, one of these is... the rigid body's on the player. So it'll trigger it. And then our fuel cell should trigger. Yeah, our fuel should have triggered. What did I do wrong? Let's find our script and find out. Oh, I keep clicking on the material instead of the script. I wonder if it's this one. So let's find out. That's what our debug is for. Make sure it's actually hitting the player. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, duh. Because the item that's hitting is the mesh. You know what? I literally ran into the same exact problem the last time I tried this. Because, of course, my brain doesn't function properly. Our problem is the player is tagged player, but the mesh is what has our collider on it that we're actually hitting with. So this is really simple. We just tag that mesh as player as well. Duh. It's always simple. Unless you spend an hour, then it's not. And if we're lucky, I wouldn't have done that. Oh, dang it. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so if we hit that. Okay, so we got a null reference right here. So we did not get... Okay, yeah. So again, I ran into this issue before. We're hitting the mesh. So what we need to do is get component in parent. And this will get the component in the parent, the player component. So, yep. That's why debugging is useful. You can debug in both Blueprint and inside of Unity. There we go. Pure fuel. So that's what we wanted to aim for. Obviously, we want this to be in the other spot. So let's adjust some things. So we have our fuel canister. Our canister's good. So I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and move our canister up here because that's where we want a canister to be. So we're good there. Let's find our player script. So nice thing if we go in here. And we're going to adjust it. So let's give him less force. And let's see what happens with our fuel. Okay. That's not enough force to get him off the ground. So that's not the right value. Let's try 5. Oh, I probably should change this one too. Unless you don't want him to go the same sideways, up or down. Okay. Try this again. There we go. Okay. So it's a little better. I'm thinking my left and right I might want to adjust. I don't think Ooh, I had enough. Wow. Okay, I take that back. I had enough. Ooh. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh crap. Okay, of course we had enough. We started at full. Duh. Okay, so we need to do our fuel drain. So we determined this was 0.5 is probably better. So it's half the drain rate that we had before. And then we can take our player. Let's see how long it takes to get up there. Starting at full, we want to see approximately how much it takes to get up. The last time it took us almost full. So screwing around. Okay, 50%. Now, do we have enough to get across is kind of the question. And explode. Okay, so we did have enough, which is good. I'm thinking maybe 50%. We have a lot of pull down. I don't know if I'm able. Oh, screw it. Okay, cool. So we'll grab our player, and we will set his default, where'd it go? Player script. Fuel to 0.5, and we should have half fuel when we start. There we go. I don't think it's going to be enough, to be honest. But I guess, oh, it was enough. Okay. Well, I should stop saying I don't think it's going to be. Oh, crap. Okay, cool. We are good. So there we go. We've got our power up. Oh, we have our power up implemented, but it's not rotating. Gosh darn it. That was kind of what we had a fixed update here for. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to do this.transform.rotate. And then one of these was, what was it? I'm trying to remember. It's transform. Oops. Transform.right times 1.0f. Is that it? I think that'll do it. I think that'll just rotate it. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. There we go. Cool. See? So that one's right, and then plus I could probably do transform right plus transform form dot up times 1.0f, and then make sure we do our math thingies right, because I can never remember what those are called. Parentheses? No, parentheses are, no, those are quotation. Those might be parentheses. There we go. So now we have it rotating. That's what I was trying to accomplish. Cool.